Middle school is a time to explore who we are as people and learners. One of the ways we do this is to provide the students with more choice, more research-informed experiences, and more opportunities to recognize that their voices matter. One project in English has been very focused on helping students understand their interests and to develop their thoughts into opportunities for deeper learning and investigation. Joining me tonight are two 8th grade students, Max Wachter, our 8th grade co-president, and Zach Liu. You guys doing okay?
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna have a conversation about the project you're doing in English right now. Sound good?
Yes.
You ready?
Yeah.
All right, so Max and Zach, can you tell me a little bit about the project you've been doing and how it might be a little different than what you've come to expect in your classrooms?
Well, in 8th grade, English students were given 10 books to choose from. In January, students read the book of their choice. Throughout February and March, students research, write an essay, and create a presentation about a topic related to their book. For example, if I were reading Harry Potter, I could research the well-being of orphans in the tri-state area.
Yeah, I definitely agree. It's been very different planning everything out ourselves and making our own project as opposed to being given one. Because there are so many options, it makes the class much more engaging.
I agree with Zach, and I feel a much greater connection with my book because I chose it instead of the teacher choosing it for me.
While I've worked on this project, I've really enjoyed being able to set my own schedule and read a book of my choice. That means I can read as much or as little as I want to every night.
Yeah, you can set your own speed.
That sounds really good. So what we're talking about is that you both have the ability to choose what you read and to think about the connections that you can draw from the book rather than your teacher telling you what to look for.
Yeah.
Great. So what have you been doing in class if all of you are reading different books?
Well, part of the project is the class is divided into groups of 4, and at the beginning of every class, you meet with your group and we set individual tasks so that we have something to work on. A task could be talking with your group, annotating, and a meeting with Ms. Hoos.
We also look for commonalities between our current books and the 2 other books that we have read this year, which are To Kill a Mockingbird and Persepolis.
That sounds really interesting. So do you mind telling us what you're going to do next?
Well, I was trying to find the connection between the main problem in To Kill a Mockingbird and my book, and I realized with Ms. Hoos's help that both protagonists have to deal with negative stereotypes. In both books, the main character has to deal with stigmas about who they are. Both characters hide parts of themselves to prevent themselves from being stigmatized. I think that I want to research stigma, but I'm not sure yet what aspect of it I want to focus on. The point is that I have the choice to explore any topic related to my book.
Yeah, for me personally, I've been reading a book called Boot Camp, and one of the more significant parts is solitary confinement and the effect it has on the main character. So for the research element of my project, I've decided I'm going to research solitary confinement and the effects of it.
So it sounds like you're exploring things that are resonating with you as you've read these different books.
Yeah.
Great. So if you have a final thought on this project, what would you like to share with this audience out here?
Well, as I said before, throughout this experience, it's been really great planning my own schedule because it's taught me to be more self-sufficient and to plan ahead.
I agree with Zach, and indubitably, this is a better way for students to learn. They are much more engaged in their work due to the fact that they must create their own question related to their book that they are interested in. I think this teaches kids how to think instead of what to think, and it's helping me to be more independent with just the right of help from my teacher.
So first, Zach and Max really wanted to work the word indubitably into this. So great job.
Thank you.
And now, thank you, Max and Zach, for sharing your experiences in English. It's a wonderful example of the ways we can blend our existing commitment to students, building essential skills with our growing focus on their developing mastery in research, inquiry, and problem solving. As you all just heard, as the strategic plan calls us to be intentional in our focus on the student experience, we can expect that our classroom environments will change, we think, for the better. At King, national research informs our own decisions regarding teaching and learning. Such research shows that as students go through their time in school, their sense of curiosity, creativity, and motivation decrease. I'm so excited to be at King because the expert teachers here appreciate that the middle years are those touchstone years where children either see themselves as successful in school or see it only as something to get through. Guided by this new strategic plan, we will be intentionally crafting an approach to teaching and learning so students will actively engage in a healthy and balanced way. As you just heard, middle school students will dive into open-ended challenges in English. They will also learn to ask the right questions, to tackle complex problems in math, seek out new ways to understand the world in history and science, and communicate their experiences in world language and performing arts and visual arts and digitally, and so on, and so on. All while learning how to balance their interests, priorities, and health and wellness. Middle school students at King will be deeply engaged, personally motivated, and will have the right skills and tools in place to tackle whatever may be put in front of them. Max and Zach, thanks again for sharing with us. It's exciting to hear about the ways our students bring their whole selves to their school experience. I can't wait to see what you all and your classmates do next. Air high five.